Hey there, welcome to Fumble Forward, the podcast for young minds curious on how to use life's guaranteed imperfect moments to grow into better people. I'm your host, Aquia, and I'm so thrilled to have you join this incredible journey. Over here, we go deep into the uncomfortable, unpredictable, and uncertain twists of life and navigating our relationship with ourselves, others, and God. You might laugh or maybe cry, but hopefully, and most importantly, be touched to live a life with intention. Your girl is back. I am back. I am back. And last week I missed an episode because life was lifing and I just really needed to take a beat. But you stay on top of me. A girl texted me and was like, yo, I was going to go look up this week's episode and it was not there. Like, are you good? What's happening? So I appreciate so much you checking in on me. I am doing well. Just sometimes you really truly need a beat. But this is going to be one of the most fun filled news episodes we've had in a while. And it's exciting because not only are we continuing to talk about a weight well worked and what does it mean to wait? How do you embrace weight? How do you take it in an active way? But this is also the start of a 3-part series that I want to do with you all about what does a season of waiting reveal? What does it reveal to us? And so that's really the fun stuff that we got going on over here. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? And so to kick off an exciting, oh gosh, I told you guys I'm not going to use exciting anymore. A thrilling episode is your girl's got some news. And I've been thinking about it's time to create it's time to take this community to the next level. Really create a space where we can be connected outside of these great episodes. And I was thinking, how do I stay connected with someone? I get their number. So I'm asking, can I have your number? Can I have it? Can I have it? So I can add you to the dopest, coolest, most imperfect texting group ever. You heard me right. We got a texting group for Fumble Forward, this wonderful podcast community. And like always, I'm keeping it easy for you because I've done all the hard work behind the scenes. All you have to do is text join, JOIN, to the number 877-509-1404. And then that way you will get to know the latest and greatest first about Fumble Forward. And don't worry about me spamming you because I am very much still figuring out time management for this podcast as I am still recording episodes the night before. Yeah, that's really where we're at right now. So it's going to be good. I'm literally maybe doing once a week kind of thing, but join the texting group. We're going to take this to the next level. And I felt like this just was more fitting for our group than an email right now. So texting's where it's at. And some of you have already gotten the texting group because you saw my Instagram story that I dropped like a week ago. But also, we got some other awesome news. I am trying a new thing with you all called Podcast Poll, where I ask you all, following me on Instagram at aquia.yo, a question pertaining to this week's episode. And this week's episode, the question was really about what has a season of waiting revealed to you? And some of the results that we got was actually, okay, the top one was people realized it was time to focus on me. That was number one. And then the other options all tied at the same amount. So the other options were time to do things differently, time to change your environment, and it's time to move on. But the number one thing that people had revealed to them in a season of waiting was that it was time to focus on me. Mm, how telling. That's how y'all feel. That's how y'all feel. I see. I see. So I'm going to be doing more of those. It's just a way of you to be able to engage with this podcast in a real tangible way. And so we're diving in part one of the series of what does the season of waiting reveal? And this one is really focused on, is the season of waiting revealing to you to be still or to move? That is something that's been bubbling up in my mind as I've been through different seasons of waiting, and I'm currently in a certain season of waiting. It's like, am I moving here? Do I need to stay in place? What's happening? Because it can be so freaking challenging to have that discernment to know which one to do. And we've covered a lot of different ideas about how to be ready, not rushed, how painful seasons of waiting can really give you so much insight, how you don't have to wait to be 100% to show up, just different things like that. And so this one is looking at a different aspect. And so what I've experienced and kind of seen over the years of having different seasons of waiting is that I see to be still as more of staying in place, not making any drastic changes, continuing to do business as usual. And maybe, just maybe, you do some small tweaks, but it's really business as usual here. And you almost like need to be doing what you're doing already. And so this idea of to be still in your season of waiting is you have to be still in where you are because something or someone is already en route to you and they only know where you currently are. So if you go shifting and moving and changing things up in terms of who you're hanging out with, where you're spending your time, where you're working, the blessing, the person, the thing cannot find you because it only has one GPS coordinates, one address. And so that's what I think about to be still and how it's kind of showed up in past seasons for me. And then I see to move as you're changing your physical environment. So whether that's moving to a new city, being in a new living space, etc., or changing your behavior. You are going maybe plant-based, or you're going to the gym, or you're gardening more, whatever that thing is, you're moving towards something. And so the thing with to move, it can either be slow, it can be a medium paced, or it can be fast. And so the biggest one with this has been like this concern of getting caught somewhere for too long or moving away from something too fast. So that's really the one that's been bubbling up with that. And so those are just kind of two concepts that have been bubbling up for me as I'm in a season of waiting, because I don't want to mess up my season of waiting. I want to experience it intentionally. I want to make sure that I'm getting out of it what God wants me to get out of it and not trying to push my own agenda as much as possible. And so I really do not have an answer. It's not even a best practice situation. It's just like these two concepts that keep showing up for me as we're diving into this idea of waiting that I think all of us struggle with or contemplate with, or at the very least just think about, and just being able to try to gauge that. So that's what I want to share with y'all for part one of this like reveal of sorts. And, not to forget that you got to join the texting group. Super, super easy. You got to just text join. I'm going to put the information in the show notes so that you have that. Super easy. And then you just get to be able to know when the latest episode's coming out. I'll also use that as space to get your feedback. That's really huge for this as well, to get your feedback and also to give you that encouragement and optimism during your day. So it's a little mixture of everything, but it definitely has that friend component and vibe to it that we got going on. So let's dive into it. What am I looking forward to? I feel like this is such an adult answer, and it's the honest truth. I'm looking forward to decluttering my home. I've already started. My husband and I did our junk drawers, which is huge. Okay, I'm giving myself a pat on the back, which was so huge. And then decluttering our closet as well, because I have just been feeling like for a good few months that I'm not really loving the pieces in my closet. I love some, but like there's a lot I don't like. And so I'm like, why is this here? Like, I need to sell this, donate it, or recycle it, but it does not need to be here. It just doesn't make sense, and it's just taking up space. So I've started that process. I actually donated today. I'm beyond proud of myself because that happened within a 24-hour time frame, when usually I keep donations for weeks, y'all. If you know, you know. That donation bag sits in the back of your trunk, in the back of your car for weeks. It is terrible. I don't know what it is about donations, but man, oh man, I'm giving myself another pat on the back. Okay. And what am I reading? I'm halfway at the halfway point through Exodus now in the Bible. It's been so insightful to learn and really just lean in deeper to the story of Moses after he, helped the people of Israel escape Egypt from the Pharaoh, and now they're in the wilderness. And so it's just been like, okay, wow, I'm really learning all the deets of what's happening, after this movie called The Prince of Egypt. They just kind of stop when he gets them past the Red Sea and they're in the wilderness, and it's like, okay, what next? So it's been really cool. Really, really cool to learn about that. And then if you have a friend who's in this moment where they need to make a decision whether to go or to stay, this could be the episode that provides some clarity on what's next for them. So give it a share. Super easy to just send in a text message. Texting is the way. That's why I want y'all to join the texting group. And then, like always, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Join this ride because we have a lot of fun here. And when I tell you I'm on a kick here, like you will probably be hearing something new almost every episode, because the ideas are just flowing. I'm coming up with just such different creative ways, and I'm just having an insane amount of fun with this. Like, you don't get to have enough of fun as an adult, so I'm like going in, okay? And like always, thank you for listening to this episode. This episode. I don't know what word I was trying to say right then, but episode. And don't forget to join the texting group. And until next time. Look at you. You stayed with me to the end. You're the best. Good thing is, it doesn't have to stop here. Dive into another episode and continue the ride.